Okay, cool. Well, we'll let some people trickle in, but let's get rolling. I want to be respectful of your guys' time. Real quick introduction. So you're like, who the heck is this guy? If I haven't met you before, my name is Ramon Casaus. I actually have been now, I just last month, passed my 1 year anniversary being with eXp Realty. You know, it's funny. I was explaining this to somebody the other day. It literally feels like the time I was in real estate up into eXp seems like a lifetime ago. Like I was like, what was I doing? Because this last year, I mean, the opportunity, the connections, the different events, the experiences, it literally feels like I'm a new person with a new business, a new outlook on the industry. So it's been about a year. In 2016, I got my real estate license fresh out of college. Like many of you, maybe not many of you, but at least for me, had an extremely hard time, went flat broke like my first 3 months, had to take a loan out from my dad. Anyways, fast forward, I became the youngest qualifying broker in the state of New Mexico. I opened an independent brokerage when I was 24 years old, grew that to 50 agents, and then at 50 agents in August of 2020, merged with eXp Realty. Had the opportunity of meeting Brian Culhane back in 2000. I want to say it was 2017, early 2018. I'm going to tell you this right now. When opportunity gets put in front of your face, pay attention. Because at that time, I met Brian. I had the opportunity to join eXp. I said no for 3 years. Probably a pretty big mistake on my end, but hey, you live and you learn. So I want you to do this. For those of you who are on the call who are not with eXp Realty, I want you to thank whoever invited you to this call. Either text them right now or call them after, text them after we're finished and thank them. The reason is because you cannot put a price on people that present and bring new opportunity into your life. Like whether it's the right opportunity for you, we'll find out. But people who put opportunity in front of you and think about you in opportune times and opportune scenarios, you can't put a price on people like that. So make sure, I mean, I always appreciate that, people who have brought new opportunity into my life. So make sure that you thank that person, okay? So this is what I want to do. I have a slideshow, we have a presentation, but first I want to go over something with you. So if you got a piece of paper, you got a pen, you got a calculator, anything just to keep your own mental notes on, I want you to do that right now because we're just going to run through a quick scenario looking at brokerage models. Okay. So does eXp have all the nuts and bolts of the technology, the stock, the revenue share, multiple income streams, all the things you need to scale your business? Absolutely. The proof is in the pudding. 1,000 agents joining almost every single week. But I want to bring it back home for you because all that stuff's great, but I want you to think about you, your business, your market, your family. Okay. And the most important thing that we need to do right now is take a second and I want you to remove all brand affiliations, remove emotional ties, remove that person who brought you into your company you're with now. Just remove it for a sec, okay? And just think about you and think about your best interest right now. That's it. So I'm going to go through two models. I'm going to go through a model A and I'm going to go through a model B scenario. We're not even going to use brand names or anything. I just want to explain two models for you. And this will give you the 30,000 foot view of why eXp is so powerful and why so many agents are choosing this model and why we're even doing this call. Okay, so model A, okay, brokerage A. This is a traditional brokerage. And a traditional brokerage, most agents are employed under an independent contractor as a 1099, right? So as an agent, you go out, you sell a home, you get a commission, and you split some portion of that commission to the brokerage. Okay, sound fair? And that split that you're giving to the brokerage, it's for tools, technology, resources, training, things that they're providing to you to be able to run a more successful real estate business, right? Sounds pretty fair? That's about how it works? Okay. So now let's just look at your business, your career, whether you've been in the business for a long time or you're brand new. Let's just look at the next 10 years. Okay. If you're going to be in the business for more than 5 to 10 years, then this is applicable to you. If you're going to be out in one, this may not work, but you're going to look at 5 to 10 years. Okay. On the traditional model A, you're a successful real estate agent. You're out selling homes. You're out being a figure in the community. You're a leader. You help people. You facilitate people coming into your market and going out, right? You're a connector. You're a referral machine, not only with your business, but referring people to all types of businesses, right? You're an asset, okay? And what I want you to think about now is, what is that financial model? Let's just say and this is an average across the country, average cap right now sitting around $20,000, okay? Average. So let's just paint a 10-year scenario. Let's just say you cap all 10 years. Okay, you're a successful agent. You've paid $200,000. Okay, remember that number, $200,000 over the course of 10 years. Now, may you cap every year, maybe most years. You get my point. It's going to be between $150,000 and $200,000 that out of your pocket you're paying for those services. Awesome, right? That's what you signed up for. Nothing wrong with that. Now I want you to think about this. Over the course of those 10 years, you start a team. You bring agents on to work as buyer's agents, listing agents, admin, right? Transaction management. You bring people to the company. Well, a good recruiter for that brokerage is also using your success story as leverage, saying, hey, look, Matthew Culhane is here and this guy's a rock star. I mean, if you want to be a rock star with the other guys here, look, I want to show you and introduce you some of the people who are with our company. You're being used as a trophy, right? As a figure of that company to help attract more agents, right? That's what attraction is. So during that time frame, you probably have friends, and you guys probably have this all happen to everybody here. Hey, you're in real estate. I've been thinking about getting my license. I think I'm actually going to do it. Or, hey, I'm in school right now, right? People are asking, wanting to get into the business. Or you have scenario where you meet agents all across your city, all across your market, and those agents are asking you and saying, hey, I'm just looking for something else, or I'm not too happy here. I'm looking for more training or more support. What's it like at your company? Well, hey, come check it out. Maybe it might work. Okay. So you do that already. So now I want you to look at that 10 years, and I want you to think about the amount of agents that you've helped procure either directly or indirectly. Now, I want to ask you a question, because some people might say, well, I don't know how true that is if I'm really attracting agents to the brokerage. I would say, well, what helps a company grow? Is it the agents or is it the brand? Right? It's the agents. The agents are the proprietary piece. Successful agents attract successful agents, and that's how every brokerage works. So during that time, 10 years, you've attracted probably 50, 100 agents over the course of that 10 years, directly or indirectly. Okay. Now, you've paid up to $200,000 of your commissions, right? Multiple 6 figures, probably close to 50 to 100 agents. You've helped that company grow. And now I want you to think about this. The brokerage model A, it's on your business cards, it's on your social media, it's on your sign, Twitter, on all kinds. I mean, you just market, you're a marketing machine, and you should be, right? So now you've invested years of marketing in your local market for that brokerage. Nothing wrong with that. Now, here's where I do think there's something wrong, and I think that there's a solution. At end of the 10 years, you say, I want to move on out of real estate, okay? Or I want to move to another company. Maybe I don't want to sell anymore, or maybe I want to go with another opportunity. Well, think about this. At the end of that 10 years, you go like this, and you're done, right? I know what the brokerage has to show for it. The brokerage has multiple 6 figures of your commission. They have 10 years of guerrilla boots on the ground marketing, and probably close to near 100 agents that you've helped procure directly or indirectly. But what do you have to show for it? The agent, the one who did all the heavy lifting, the one who was in the trenches for 10 years, working hard, building their business. what do you have to show for it? Right? And the answer is nothing. Hopefully the commissions that you've earned, you saved and invested well. That's what you have. So it's a little bit lopsided because the value proposition, right? The proprietary piece of the brokerage is the agents. So now model B, I want to show you, okay? Now model B is a little bit different, okay? So imagine this. What if in model B, instead of capping, right, and paying your money just straight out to the company, hitting certain performance metrics, you were able to receive that entire cap back in the form of company stock. Okay, so remember the 200,000? What if you were able to receive that cap back in the form of company stock out of those 10 years? Okay, you're going to have a 6-figure asset opposed to 6 figures out of your pocket. You're going to end the end of that 10 years, you're going to have a financial security. Okay, let's think about the reverse side of that, where agent attraction. Over that time, what if, because you were helping the company grow, right? Seems pretty fair. If I add a successful agent to the company, I get compensated for it. Sounds pretty fair. I'm helping the company grow. Everyone's aligned. You were able to receive a small portion of the revenue that was created from every agent that was brought onto that company that you were the procuring cause of. Okay. So I'm going to get back to that in a sec. And then what if that revenue share, what if that passive income actually had the possibility of one day replacing, not just adding to, replacing your active sales income. So at the end of the 10 years, you have options. Okay. And we always joke about this, but and honestly, if you have, please tell me, has anyone ever been to a real estate agent retirement party, get together? Hey guys, I'm retiring out of real estate. I'm no longer selling, right? Has anyone been to one? Seriously, it's an honest question. If you have, please tell me. And I know a lot of agents. I've never been to one. And I ask myself, why? Why isn't it? Because it doesn't happen. And when it does, it's not a glamorous moment. It's not something you celebrate, right? It's not something you celebrate. And it's the reason is because brokerage model A, you go like this and that's it. You close up shop. It's a done deal. You kind of, hopefully you made some good rental investments or you did some smart things. Maybe your spouse has an income that took, who knows, right? But in model B, you've built a reoccurring passive income. You have a financial security, and what you've invested back into that company, you now have in return. Okay. So I have to ask you, and I'm going to go through some real numbers for you today on that, especially on that passive income. I got to ask you, how do you want to end the next 10 years? How do you want to end the next 5 years? Now, remember, take affiliations, take brands, take all that stuff out of the equation. Do you want to end with financial security, with assets, with a passive income stream? Or do you want to go like this one day and just say, well, I guess I'm done selling real estate? Here's why I chose eXp. I work too damn hard to do option A. I've invested too much into myself. I've invested too much into my team. I've invested too much into my business. I've worked too many hours for too many days to at the end of the 10 years not know what my end game is. Right? We're running in this treadmill of sales. Okay. Every year you got to keep selling, keep selling, keep selling. I one day don't want to have to worry about showing a client on a Sunday. Okay. Right. I want to get to that point where I'm in complete control of my business. And unfortunately, is it possible in model A? It's possible. Is it extremely difficult? Yes, it is. It's extremely difficult. So before I go into the actual, I'm just going to highlight a few things on the slideshow here. That is the main difference between eXp Realty and your traditional brick and mortar offices. Now, along with a lot of other differences, but the bird's eye view, that's the meat and potatoes of why agents are saying, you know what? if I can do everything I was already doing, being a successful agent, selling real estate, growing teams, being a figure in my community, being a leader, and I can end the 10 years with something real to show for it, not just a handshake and a thanks for everything you've done for us, right? Financial security for my family, options, assets I can invest. I want to end with that. That's why I chose eXp, and that's why thousands of agents are doing it every single week. Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys a quick little presentation. I'm just going to run through eXp, and I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So if you haven't checked your phone yet, you haven't gone on your emails yet, stick with me. Okay. Because we're going to go through it quick, and I promise it'll be the best use of your time. We're not going to do the whole thing, only what I think you're really going to be valuable for you. Okay. So let me do this real quick here. All right. Can everyone see this? Can we all see this? Okay. I want to tell you a quick story here. This is Glenn Sanford. I was just with Glenn in Napa over the last weekend. We were celebrating his 53rd birthday. Unreal story. And I want to tell you why. Is because Glenn was the founder of eXp, and he launched the first cloud-based brokerage, eXp Realty, in 2009. Now, I want you to think about this. Anyone who's in the business or just can remember 2009, I want you to think about something. Launching a virtual cloud office in 2009, a virtual cloud office, a virtual cloud company in 2009. Okay. Do you know how many times this gentleman got laughed at, ridiculed, made fun of, thrown out of meetings? A lot of times. Fast forward 2021, eXp is the most successful real estate brokerage on the planet, the fastest growth of any real estate company in history of brokerage, has a market valuation of $8 billion as of today, with over and rounding out 70,000 agents worldwide. Okay, it's an incredible story, but here's the part I like the best. Glenn Sanford started off as a real estate agent just like me and you, showing homes, listing appointments, growing teams. But what he figured out was that the agents are what matters most. If you can make agents shareholders, owners of the business, right? If they were vested in the growth of the company, right?
Yeah, but I took a shower and did all of that and got ready.
Oh, if your guys check your mic real quick, guys, and make sure we're on mute.
Start fussing.
Hate to tap into your conversation. Okay, sorry about that. So that's what I love most about Glenn's
And
story.
I didn't hear the phone because it's on the Zoom meetings. So
hey, let me see here. Hey guys, can you guys all check your mics, please, and make sure you're on mute?
I think we're good now.
Okay, cool. So that's what I like most about Glenn. So we were just there, and Glenn is a software guy at heart. He's an engineer. He's a very brilliant, very brilliant guy. Actually started out, many people don't know this, started out at Keller Williams. Okay. So when you look at the transition of brokerages, it comes in forms. This is a little education about real estate brokerages. Okay. 70s to 80s, big, and even 90s, big company that was doing it big. Coldwell Banker. Okay. Somebody else came out after Coldwell Banker, and they started marketing to the consumer. That was what their big play was. You might recognize their balloon, right? You might see their name at sporting events. That's called Remax. From Remax was born Keller Williams, okay? And from Keller Williams was born eXp. These models have transitioned over time, and now, fortunately, we're a part of the future, which is eXp Realty. And the part I like about Glenn is that if Glenn and his team was thinking about a virtual cloud-based company in 2009, what are they thinking about today? Okay, fast forward, what are they thinking about now going into 2030? Because I can promise you the way real estate brokerage is done today will not be the way it's done in the future. Okay, so quick history lesson as well on the growth. Here's 2009, eXp was founded. In 2015, this is a major event here. eXp launches its agent equity and icon agent program. I'm going to get into that before this call finishes. I'm going to talk about exactly how you as an agent doing exactly what you were already doing are going to become a shareholder of eXp, okay? Fast forward, 2020, these slideshows cannot even keep up with the growth of eXp. 2021, we're rounding out 70,000 agents. Here's a quick stat just to show you the power of the model. It took Keller Williams 13 years, okay, to reach 1,000 agents. It took eXp 11 years to hit 60,000. I want to say that one more time. Keller Williams, big company, great company, largest by agent count, okay? But I want you to think about that, the scalability of this model and how that benefits your business. 11 years, 60,000 agents, 13 years, 1,000. That's the difference, okay? I'm going to go through this real quick. So this is important to understand. eXp does not have any brick and mortar offices. You're not going to find an eXp office that's a corporate office you can walk into, okay? Now, there's a couple reasons they did that. Now, number one is what happens is that's the most expensive part of a real estate brokerage is the brick and mortar location. So this is what eXp did. They said, well, if we eliminate brick and mortar, we're going to have a lot more what? Free cash flow, right? Because we don't have that expense as a business. What are we going to do with all of this free cash flow? Well, we're going to distribute it back to the agents in the form of something called revenue share. So remember this, okay? Every dollar eXp gets, 50 cents of it goes back to the agents in the form of revenue share. 50% of company dollar is distributed back to the agents who are on the boots on the ground in their markets doing the heavy lifting in the form of revenue share. Okay. Now we've seen this in multiple industries. I want you to think about this Blockbuster, right? Love the Blockbuster, but think about the inefficiencies in the model, right? They have these DVDs, you get to go walk in there, you got to pick one, you hope it's not scratched, you check it out, you have to go drive back to your home, hope it works, get it back in time, restock it. I mean, it's just a crazy logistical nightmare. Now, I used to enjoy going to Blockbuster, not going to lie, and probably a lot of you guys did too. But guess what? I promise you, I prefer Netflix. Okay. But think about Netflix. Why is Netflix so much better than Blockbuster? Number one, it's incredibly cheap compared to what you're paying at Blockbuster. It's extremely cheap. You can access personalized access to the cloud platform instantaneously, no matter where you're at in the world, as long as you have a Wi-Fi connection. Okay. One login, everyone has the same experience from anywhere in the world. All your tools, all your resources, everything in one area. Now you see that with Circuit City to A offices, Model A from previous, and now you see it in Model B, which is eXp Realty. Okay. Now it's very important to note this. eXp is one brokerage. It's not a franchise. There are no franchise fees. There's no desk fees. There's no coffee fees, printer fees. Okay. All the fees are eliminated. I'm going to go over the fee structure in a sec. It's one company with licensing in all 50 states in about 20 countries outside of the US. Okay. Now this is important to note. You're probably in all different states of the US right now. Okay. Let's just say you're in Kansas. Okay. Because it's a virtual cloud company, I want you to keep this in mind. There is an eXp Kansas office. There is an eXp New Mexico office. Okay. There's an eXp California state office. It's important to know that because it's virtual, but there is a full-blown state operation going on in every single state. Okay. Mentorship, training, support, transaction management, designated broker. Okay. State-specific training. All right. Process and payment processing, right? All that stuff is in one area. So I want you to envision if you're at an office that has a physical location, I want you to envision this. You are driving to your office, you park in the parking lot, you get down, you grab your backpack, briefcase, whatever you carry, purse, and you go to the front door, you open it up, you walk in, secretary, offices, agents, okay, staff, admin. It's the exact same thing, except it's virtual. That's the only difference. But what do you get with virtual? Instantaneous access, no matter your geographic location. I bet you when you have a real estate question for your broker or for your operations team, I bet you kind of want it answered yesterday, right? Well, that's what I want, that answer right away so I can maintain business. That's exactly what you get, except it's quicker because your access is quicker. Okay. Think about logging into your Netflix. It's like logging into eXp. Everything's there for you no matter where you're at. You can run your business no matter your geographic location. All right. So I'm going to get into the actual cost. Okay. So you guys can understand a little bit more about the model. All right. eXp, it's a standard 80-20 split across the board. Okay. $16,000 is the cap. All right. Now, after you cap, your 20% equates to $16,000. You earn 100% commission up until your anniversary year. Okay. Now, something that is very important to note. This is very unique. eXp, one of the core values is transparency. All right. I'm going to be very transparent with you. Everybody has the same exact deal at eXp. I work with a lot of very well-known people at eXp. One of them, Tariq El Musa from HGTV, star of Flipper Flop, right? Celebrity real estate investor, guy has one of the biggest brand presences of all agents, all real estate people in the world. Okay. I promise you he has an 80-20 split. I can guarantee it. Every agent, no matter what market you're in, is on the same exact structure. Now, I like this because I've been at other companies before where, hey, depending on, do you go golfing with the qualifying broker on the weekend, or how much are you bringing in? Are you threatening to leave? Everyone kind of seems to have a different deal. And I never like that because I don't like being the squeaky wheel just because I want to get greased, right? I want to get a good model and a good business to run, but I don't want to feel like I'm not getting the best deal. Everyone has the same deal at eXp, 80-20 split, 16K cap. There's only one small fee of $85 per month. That is it. I promise you there is no other fee besides $85. Now, I wouldn't even call it a fee because I'm going to show you the technology, tools, and resources that every agent gets for that $85. It'll make that $85 seem like pennies. Now, to join eXp, if you decide, hey, this is something I want to do, let's move forward. There's one startup fee, a small $149 that covers your first 1,000 business cards, and it covers your first month of your cloud office fee, the $85. That is it. Okay. So very easy to get started. It's an online application, takes all of 10 minutes. Okay. Talk to the person who invited you here and they can walk you through if it's something you want to do. And by the way, if you want more clarification and want to go through this deeper and really start to go through the numbers, make sure you reach out to the person who invited you and tell them you want to do that, because we know that there's sometimes a good amount of information you're going to want to take in before making a decision. If this call isn't enough, we'll be happy to keep the conversation going. Okay. So now I want to talk to you about the revenue share plan, because this is very, very, very sometimes misunderstood. I want to say it's not, if you've heard that, get that out of your head. That's not what it's about. Okay. I want you to think about this. You guys know what the average, this always gets me excited because I think this is it's like the coolest thing since sliced bread. This is it's impacting so many agents. Do you know what the average GCI is for an agent across the country? National Association of Realtors statistic income for agents, real estate agents, 2021 or 2020, I guess. Anyone know what that number is? 43,000. You know how far $43,000 doesn't get you? Nothing wrong with making $43,000, but I think we can all agree it's not like 43 grand ain't like it used to be. Okay. Now, I want you to think about this. The mom, the dad, the husband-wife team, right? The kid fresh out of college, or maybe someone's grandma who's selling real estate. It's all good. We love all agents, but guess what? Worst case scenario happens and you have to stop selling for something. Okay. Health reasons, taking care of a sick family member. You just need time away from the business to refresh yourself, right? Life happens and it happens fast. When you stop answering your phone, going on those appointments, putting your foot on the pedal, waking up every morning, you eat what you kill, right? When you stop doing that, how fast are those commissions going to dry up? Very fast, right? And most agents don't have anything to fall back on. And if you're making $43,000 a year, nothing wrong with that, but chances are you don't have a ton of savings to keep you to weather through those storms. So all the revenue share plan is designed to do is to create a safety net, create some financial security, create a passive income, a retirement plan for agents. So at the end of their time in real estate, they have something of real monetary value to either get them through hard times or have something to be really proud of at the end of their time in real estate, right? To give that mom $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000 a month in passive income for being an asset, like we talked about, for being an asset to a company for years. Helped the company grow, was a great model, produced, did everything by the book, was compliant. Thank you, and here you go. Here's something that you've earned in your time in real estate. That's what it's about. Now, can you go attract and bring on a ton of people and really maximize this side of the financial model? Oh yeah, absolutely. Nothing holding you back. But it was designed for the average agent to build something of real value and of real material that they could fall back on one day or be proud of when their end of their 10 years happens. That's all revenue share is. Okay. So don't, and remember this, it's not about recruiting agents, because you can go recruit 1,000 agents today. If none of those agents produce, they don't sell real estate, there's no revenue to share. No revenue, no share. It's all about successful real estate agents selling more homes. That's it. All right. So how does revenue share plan work? Any agent who you're the procuring cause of them joining eXp, you're the reason they said, I'm doing this, right? That means you're their sponsor. And a sponsor is simply that, the procuring cause. Okay. And anyone who you bring into the company, you're the sponsor, you're the reason why they said yes. You receive a small portion of revenue from every transaction they do until they cap. And then that resets every year. Here's the best part. Okay. If I bring Marissa into eXp, I'm her sponsor. Okay. She does her first deal. I receive a small portion of commission. Guess what? That money doesn't come out of Marissa's pocket. Remember, it's the company dollar. So how cool is that? Now Marissa has somebody who introduced her to an opportunity, is supporting the growth of her business, and she doesn't have to pay for it. Okay. So everyone's aligned in the revenue share program. It's amazing. I'm going to show you how this gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. I bring on one agent. I bring on Marissa. I'm the reason why she said yes. She reached out to me. She was at Century 21 and she was like, look, I'm just looking for more support, better training. And I love the online concept. Great. Now she comes over and I receive a small portion of the revenue. So this is Marissa in blue. This is me in white. Okay. Up to $2,800. That means that per Marissa's production, I can earn up to $2,800 per year from her production, which equates to 3.5% of her gross commission. Now, if you're like, you went too fast, 3.5%, 2,800, I'm going to go through it in a second, make it very, very, very simple for you to understand. Okay. Because it is a lot. It's a new concept. So take your time when you're taking this all in. Okay. It's cascading. And what this means is that if I bring on, here's me and the little white guy here, and I bring on Marissa, she's here. Okay. And then Marissa says, hey, well, shoot, my uncle Steve is also looking for somewhere. He's getting his license. He's looking to come over to a brokerage. Okay. So Uncle Steve joins. So now what's great about revenue share is that I'm not only collecting a small portion of revenue from Marissa, but also now from Uncle Steve. Okay. And now this goes down 7 referrals. So now I'm starting to build up this passive income, right? This revenue share from just introducing new agents, and over time it grows itself. Okay. Now I'm going to make it super easy for you to understand now. I want you to think about this. It takes $80,000 of GCI to cap at eXp, right? At $80,000, 20% of it will equate to 16,000. Okay. So if you earn per this slide, 3.5% of the total GCI that Marissa brings in. Well, if she brings in $80,000, right? Okay, that's the total it takes to cap. I will earn $2,800. So take 3.5 of 80,000, and what do you get? You get 2,800 single year. Now, I want to take you through this math real fast, real quick. Remember I said early on, you probably are going to bring on 50 to 100 agents, not even trying in 10 years in real estate. I mean, that's a low number. I want you to think about this. I'm going to put something in your head real fast. What if over the next 5 years, 5 to 10 years, somewhere in there, you were able to procure, let's say 100 agents total, 100, not counting any additional ones, just 100 in the next 5 years. And you cannot hold me to this, but this is not a company statistic. This is not, you're not going to see this advertised, but I'm just going to tell you, okay, is that per agent per year. And that falls right in line with the average agent production across the country. So I want you to do this. Take that 100 agents, multiply it by $750. We're going to use the average between 500 and 1,000. 100 agents times 750. That number's 75,000. That's what you'd be earning passively on top of your sales commissions and on top of the stock and equity we're going to talk about in a sec. Passively. Now, some of you might go, well, 100, that's it. I could do that in a year. Well, do this. Let's just say you bring in that 100 over the course of the 5 years. And let's just say for every one agent that came on to eXp, right, that they brought on 2 others. Okay. For every one you brought on average, they brought on 2 others over the course of 5 years. Remember, we're talking about 2026 here. Okay. That's 300. Now I want you to multiply 300 agents times $750 per year. And what do you come up with? I'm actually going to do that. My math isn't too shabby. So let's see here. 300 agents times $750, $225,000 per year. Now, I don't know about you, but I want you to think about how hard you work to do that selling real estate. Okay. And you might go, well, Ramon, that sounds a little high, man. I think, are we overshooting that here? Guys, there's guys in this company doing $1 million a month in revenue share. And there's a lot of agents who are in this bracket of $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month, all because of this chart, of this plan, revenue share. Okay. It's not about recruiting, but hey, if you were going to build relationships anyway, you were going to introduce agents to your company anyway, right? You were going to be successful at your brokerage anyway. Why would you not be compensated for helping the company grow? You deserve it. And that's what eXp figured out. And that's how they cracked the code. And that's why they're the fastest growing company on the planet right now. Fastest growing company in the world right now, is because they figured out that agents want to be compensated for being agents. Okay. Now, equity opportunities. We talked a little bit about the stock. There's 3 ways that agents are earning and becoming shareholders of eXp. Okay. If you haven't checked it out already, EXPI is on the New York Stock Exchange. Check out the ticker symbol. Stock's doing great today, by the way. Anyone who's a shareholder out there is excited. Those are always fun days. Everyone's happy. Okay. So the sustainable equity plan, I want you to think about this. Think about the word sustainable. Think about reoccurring, okay? Because it's just constantly reoccurring every year. So you earn shares. You do your first transaction with eXp, you earn shares. You earn shares when you cap. You earn shares when any agent you sponsor to eXp closes their first transaction. So you're always earning stock. Okay, every year. Now, the Icon Award. This is that award in 2015 that changed the game for eXp and changed the game for brokerage in general. Once you hit your cap in a year, you've done 80-20 split, 16K cap, you've capped. If you do an additional 20 qualifying transactions in the calendar year, you are eligible to receive the $16,000 back in the form of company stock. And I can promise you, as an icon agent, as a mega icon team leader, that's real. The stock really does come back. The cap does come back into stock. Okay. So think about right now, if you're on a cap currently and you've been in your company for a little while, I want you to think about all the money you've not necessarily given away, but you've paid into the company. What if that was back in the form of company stock? What if that was sitting in a stock account right now that you could monitor? And right now you'd be a very happy guy. You'd be a very happy agent. Imagine that. So agents are doing this all across the country. So think about for you, how many sales does it take to hit $80,000 in GCI and then additional 20 transactions? In my market, it's about 29 to 30 deals. That's it. 29 to 30 deals, and I get my cap back in stock every single year. It's amazing. Now, the agent equity program, this is optional. I want to make this very clear. This is optional, and it's not an obligation, and it's not a fee. Okay. Sometimes people think, oh, it's a fee. It's not. You can enroll, if you want, 5% of your total commissions back into every transaction, right? 5% back into the company stock at a 10% discount. Okay. So going back to model, I want you to go back to model B here very early on. That's why we did this model B. Okay. You're meeting agents. Agents are joining the company. You're building a team. You're helping keep people out of school. Say, hey, here's a great brokerage. You're building a passive income today, right? You're hitting the Icon Agent Award. You're getting your entire cap back in the form of company stock. You have little increments of shares being built up for you from the Sustainable Equity Program, and you're reinvesting a very small amount of your commissions back into the company stock of financial security at a 10% discount every time you get paid. Can you see the compound effects of why eXp has created more millionaires than any other brokerage on the planet to this day? eXp has created more real estate agent millionaires than any other company. And this is why. It's not a get rich quick overnight. It's not a scheme, a recruiting scheme. It's agents doing what they were already doing, building. Okay. I want you to think about this. This is what was very impactful for me the other day personally, because I'm learning every day too. Okay. This is what was impactful for me. I was at a conference in Dallas. I got the chance to speak at. Tony Robbins was the headliner. It was unreal. 5,000-6,000 agents in attendance. And somebody went up there and said, you know why I love the eXp model so much is because you actually build something. And I go, well, what is he talking about? You actually built something. I built a business. I built a sales business, right? Well, he said, I was a team leader and we're doing thousands of deals every year. But I got tired of starting over every January at zero. I'm like, what does he mean zero? He said, well, we sold 750 homes our last year in real estate, selling homes, 750. We closed out that year, but January 1, guess what we start with? Zero. You got to do it again every single year. You got to go out and get the next listing, get the next team member, build it up every month, every year for how long? But what he said he loved most about the eXp model is that when that year comes up, there's 16,000 agents, right? Well, guess what? On January 1, it's still the 16,000. It's still the 50 agents. And the next year, it's 30,000. And then it's 75 agents. And then the next year, it's 50,000. And then it's 100 agents, right? It builds up over time instead of starting at zero every single year. Now, if you're doing that now, that's okay. That's like I do 550 this year, my team and my market. And guys, I can tell you, I'm tired of starting at zero. And that's why we chose eXp and said, man, I'm going to do the same things anyway. I might as well stop starting at zero and start now, right? Best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. Now, I'm going to go through a couple more things for you real quick. All right. I want to be conscious of your time. And then also, if there's any questions, because guys, I'm going over this stuff fast. And I want to make sure there's any specific questions we can answer them because it'd be awesome to answer them for the group. Okay. Anyone remember the $85 I was talking about? $85 cloud brokerage fee? That's the only fee associated with eXp. I'm going to show you what it comes with. Okay. Now, if you went out today and you went out and tried to go get all, you called Sky Slope, you called KV Core, you went to all.
Yeah, while we wait for Ramon, if there's any other agents that want to give a testimonial at this point, I know Ramon's done a great job of covering the revenue share already. I'm a former current trader and investor, and I was really drawn by the equity piece that Ramon touched on. That's a great way to build wealth, beyond the income that you're doing for deals. And that is based in productivity. So that is just a reward that you get for doing deals. The trajectory of the stock is going up already. You have a nice little discount that they provide you. It's a small amount of each deal that you do that you can sock away into those accounts. And that money, that's a real opportunity to build up money over time. It's nothing you're gonna miss from your commissions on the deals you're doing, but it has a real chance to grow over time. That relatively small amount of money you put on deals you do, like Ramon said, every first deal annually that you do, it's just a reward that they give you. Any agents that you do happen to bring into the company, when they do their first deal annually, you get stock for that. And it adds up quickly. So the revenue shares is a great piece. A lot of people focus on that. A lot of agents actually don't do it at all, which creates more opportunity for the agents that do. But I did want to highlight the equity piece as something that really it just happens. It's not an additional benefit like the revenue share is. And it really just brings, again, opportunities to agents that haven't been there for so long, just based on the structure of being an independent contractor, not having access to traditional things like a 401k. We're entrepreneurs, so the opportunity is much higher, I think, than with a traditional job. But, to bring those traditional benefits like a 401k, like healthcare, which eXp provides with Clearwater benefits. It's just turned the whole model on its head, and it's real exciting for me to kind of, from a farther kind of back standpoint. I look at the Zillows, who's, they've been having some trouble, and look, we don't want to talk poorly about any other brokerages because healthy competitive markets are what we need. But I think this model with eXp that Glenn has created, Brian, who Ramon mentioned as a co-founder, have just improved upon using this technology and all the savings and efficiencies that have come from that to be able to share that revenue with the agents who are the ones that frankly deserve it. The get rich quick scheme is really brokers taking advantage of agents out there busting their ass, and we just threw that aside, laid it all on the table, and the results kind of speak for themselves. So I see we got Ramon back. You good? Your audio?
Yeah, I was like, oh man, you guys kicked me off. This guy's not any good. Get him off. No, I don't know what happened with my computer. It was just all of a sudden it just said you're off. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, hey, this is what I'll do is if any of you guys want, because we're running up on that hour mark, if any of you guys want that slide deck, just shoot over in the chat box and you can run through the technology side. I can tell you right now is that everything you can possibly imagine in terms of training, support, technology, CRM, transaction management, there's 60 hours of live training in eXp world, overarching training and state-specific training. I mean, it's just an unreal epicenter of agent growth. I can guarantee you it's in there somewhere. If you're looking for it, it's there. I'm not saying that from hey, I'm just trying to sell you something. It really is. If there's anything you need in resource wise to run your business, I can promise you eXp's thought of it. So we'll get you that slide deck if anyone wants it, but I'll just reserve the last 5 minutes for any questions. It doesn't matter what the question is. It can be anything. I just want to make sure we're super clear on everything we went over. So what questions you guys got?
While people are coming up with questions, Ramon, I just wanted to say, yeah, the eXp training is phenomenal. Our organization and our leaders like Ramon's incredible, but believe it or not, we have a lot of agents like him, and we kind of augment eXp's training with our own offerings. I know Ramon does, takes his own, time to contribute a class every Monday just to kind of setting mindset, so it's really a comprehensive approach that we take both with eXp and within Culhane organization and our leaders like Ramon, mental health, physical health, all of that. We have a clubhouse session we do every Wednesday that focuses a lot on physical health. So, we do really, eXp model alone is sufficient, but we are striving to even build on that with things like this call. So I just wanted to, thank Ramon for doing that additional session every week, because I think that's huge for the people that do wind up coming into our organization.
Hi, Ramon.
Yes.
I'd like to know a little bit about how you would tell someone to reassure them that you guys actually have the tools to let us actually sell properties.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Versus just, I understand the recruiting thing. I've been there, and I'm very excited about that, but I want to make sure that there's, confidence that I can hold my own against some of the big brands.
100%. 100%. So very important to note that back office for every state is extremely strong. A lot of people don't know this, but eXp employs just about 1,000 admin support staff, whether it's engineers or the software. I mean, you name it, go down the list. There's about 1,000 people running as employees of eXp Realty. So that's taken care of. Now, the other side of eXp is, I think you got to think about this too, with branding, and well, everyone's market's different, but chances are the brand of the company, and I think going forward, the brand itself is holding less value to the consumer. It's more about the individual agent and what they're offering and what their knowledge is of the area. But that's what I wanted to go over, but we ran out of time, was the technology tools and resources. I think that with SkySlope, transaction management technology and compliance, making sure you're compliant with all your documents and having the bird's eye view, or I guess the eye in the sky from compliance through your individual platform, that's huge. KV Core, which is, in my opinion, one of the most robust CRMs that's on the market right now. Anything you can think of, bells and whistles to provide your client with a personalized experience through your own CRM, it's in there. I can guarantee it. And then outside of that,
how do the fees compare for the marketing tools when you have flyers, virtual tours, that type of thing, compared to, say, a Keller Williams? I know that you have a suite for that, but what types of charges are associated?
That I've used the suite with the marketing on a couple occasions. It's going to fall right. I mean, honestly, it's going to fall right in line with market prices. I mean, you're not going to see a major increase. You're not going to see it exponentially cheaper. The one thing I will tell you that is the speed of getting it completed, because it is virtual and you can log in there and get it done anytime from no matter where you're at. That's probably the best benefit, in my opinion, about just eXp in general, is the speed factor for you and your business.
Perfect. Thank you.
No problem. Great question, by the way. And again, like I said, if you want to talk or you have an agent who's interested, by all means, whoever invited you to the call or whoever you're working with, make sure that you dive into this stuff deeper, because what Rebecca just asked is a great question, because we can talk up here, right? But it's very important that you understand how eXp is going to help you tomorrow, boots on the ground in your market, sell more real estate and be a more successful agent. So thank you for asking that. Okay, not all at once with the questions. I think it froze up. Everyone's trying to talk at once and then it just froze. So I think that's where the silence came from.
You can't be a realtor and be shy.
Yeah, you can't, no.
I think Ruth Lamb is on the call. I want to see if she can give a little quick testimonial. She's been with eXp since the beginning. She's one of the first agents that signed on with Brian and Suzanne Fuqua here in Arizona. So Ruth, if you're available, can you pop your mic on and give us a little insight to what you've seen being from the ground floor as we've built into this amazing opportunity?
Sure. Thanks for having us, and thanks for doing this. Yes, I've been with Brian and Glenn since before eXp. I got to tell you that this company has literally changed my life. From the stock options to the training that's available is mind blowing. And the cool thing about it is they're always going above and beyond, ahead of the curve, to implement different programs. And now that we've grown to the level that we have, knowing that we have the top people in the industry nationwide and now worldwide that can offer, training in different things and just the masterminding and bringing everything together. It's almost impossible not to be successful on multiple levels with this company.
I think it's a very good point. eXp is more about supporting and helping each other, whereas your traditional brokerage, that's your competition that you're surrounding yourself with. So we want everybody to be successful and supported with eXp. So thank you, Ruth, for sharing that.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Yeah, so for just as a point of reference, because I'm with eXp already. What did you say was the average GCI?
Average GCI of agents per NAR statistic, or GCI
Yeah.
takes cap?
Yeah, I think you mentioned NAR statistics.
43,000.
43,000. Okay, perfect. That's the only question I had. Thank you.
No problem. Well, cool. Any last questions before we finish up? Thank you for everyone who asked and for the testimonial. That was awesome. Okay, well, guys, we'll finish up. Everyone, thanks for joining. Enjoy the rest of your what is today? For Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to reach out to me directly or whoever invited you to the call. This has been great. Jeremy, thanks for having me. Marissa, appreciate you. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Have a
Way to
great
be,
day.
Ramon.